Come on in here. Come on in here. Hey, come on in here.
They're coming.
Woo! Woo!
Welcome, welcome. I see we have Kai Jackson. Welcome aboard, Kai. Tracy, thanks for joining. Tanika, Sams.
Nika.
Welcome. Hey, Natasha. Welcome. Thanks for joining the party.
Come on in here.
Sharon's on. Susan is coming in. As is Sarai. Welcome, Sarai Daniels.
Hey. Carmen is here, and Elise and Sharon. Carmen is my delicious divine editor. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. We're very
so happy you're here.
I'm happy to celebrate your journey today.
We are more than appreciative of everybody who's joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so gracious for you as Wen's guest today. I'm Corinne J. Phipps Benjamin. Many of you might not know me. Several of you may know me. I am a community strategist and life empowerment coach. I'm a friend from way back when of Wen. Wen is a wee kind of girl. She'll add to your energy levels if they aren't high enough. And so it's a great day to really celebrate Wen. As many of you know, she released a book on Thursday. And we're on a high for Wen. Hoot, hoot. Strike up lots of poses, right? I think it's such an exciting time for Wen. Generally, I knew Wen way back on the island of St. Kitts and Nevis, and I don't know how many of you have copies as yet. So I think we'll be walking through some of the book, having a conversation about, Wen's life. But I knew Wen as this young girl in high school, at tertiary level, studying to be whatever her future was preparing her to be. And she eventually went into pageantry. She's a former Miss St. Kitts and Nevis. Beauty queen, this girl, Wen, right? And when then, I remember her in her musical journey. I hadn't been in touch for years, and I heard Wen's downtown Manhattan, and she's with a band, and she's performing, and I said, show up for this Wen. And then, my rediscovery of Wen really came as she started this coaching journey that she's on. But to document a lot of her life in this book is one of the most exciting, most inspiring trajectories that she's been on. And I'm so excited to have everybody here to share in this celebration of this undertaking. Let's call it what it is. And some points of it, I think, he tells us that in 3 weeks, she sat down and wrote this 158-page story of her journey. And I'm more than excited to be here to have a conversation about what I think is enrichment, empowerment, and enlightenment at its best, its richest. And so I hope that as we have this conversation, there's a lot to take away, a lot to glean from for all of us, and hopefully even some more ideas, including when is the next book coming, right? When?
Yup. Carmen knows about that. Carmen knows.
Next one, right? The next one. Oh, we have to welcome Jackie as well as Chrissy and Jeanette and Shauna. Abby, thank you so much for coming to join in the celebration of the indomitable Wen.
Thank you for every one of you who are here. So thank you so much.
So Wen, the author, I spoke about my familiarity with you, my knowledge of who you were, way back when from St. Kitts and Nevis. Here we are on this journey. Tell us about what got you to actually deciding to document a piece of who Wen is or Wen was.
Spirit. Spirit said it's time to do it. Somebody else out here may be in need of this example, maybe in need of this nourishment, maybe in need of this courage, and it is your responsibility, Wen, now that you have healed, to give back. This is community work, honey. So really, that's what this was. It wasn't something that I even really debated or thought much about. I was called to do this work. I could not do this work of writing the book and sharing. And don't get me wrong, it took a lot of grit, it took a lot of courage and all that stuff, but I could not write this book because it's bigger than me. It's so much more bigger than even the country that I'm from, the small island of St. Kitts, in terms of there's so many people in the world who may look like all of you guys, or look like me, or some of us, or talk like us, or shape like us, or have sexual preferences like, doesn't matter. There's some kind of hurting that's happening. And I really believe we all hold a little key, each of you, Sharon, Kai, Carmen, Elise, Chrissy, we each hold some little nugget that somebody else is waiting to see, feel, and to be encouraged, inspired by, to live in the dignity of being themselves, not what society says or parents, religion, all these things say. And that's necessary work. And when you're ready, all you guys, I'm sure in some way you're helping somebody. And that matters. It doesn't have to be a book. So I was called to. Spirit says, come on here, girl.
Gotta write it, gotta capture it. You know,
Yeah.
in talking about capturing, I remember reading the book. What stumped me I think at page 20, can't forget that. And I don't remember all the words. I wrote it down. I renamed myself, Who Am I? I am self-love, courage, empowerment, and resilience. Who am I? I am gratitude and freedom. I healed the childhood wounds. I am on a path to purpose to help other survivors gain their independence from the bondage of shame and self-hate so that they may create new versions of themselves. I rebuke the generational inheritance of silence. I am in motion from pain to purpose, from shame to celebration. I am living my life's mission. Wen? Powerful. Share with us how this journey embodies all this.
Wow, you got a whole year? We'd be here that long. Honestly, Corinne, to me, it's like when you find and discover a certain level of intimacy with yourself, when you allow yourself to be absolutely vulnerable with yourself. Some of us are so good with being vulnerable in our love relationships, or maybe we show more of ourselves to our partners or bosses or work colleagues. But when it comes to really understanding who you were meant to be, and you really respect and honor that, and you remove the self-judgment that we put on ourselves because Tom, Dick, Harry say, you're here, gotta look away, you gotta be this size, you gotta follow this religion. Listen, when you get rid of all that noise and you get in touch with, oh, as I am, I'm all right. This is how my life works. This is who I am. The shame that I'm feeling is just me beating myself for my composition, my configuration, my architecture. Why waste energy on that? And after a while, we do that and we realize, wait a minute, we don't need to do that. How about if we train ourselves in the courage of seeing and feeling what we decide our identity is? Don't get me wrong. This takes a lot of badass grit, courage. But when you do that, when you meet yourself for the first time as your truest, purest expression, all the walls fall away, and you don't give a hoot about somebody else's opinion about you because you are walking in the line of your truth. And that's what this all stuff for me is. So now in reflection, I'm like, yeah, I wrote all this stuff, but I don't know how else to be now, because it's such a gift to be living in the embodiment of the person you imagine you could be, so it's how I move now. Really just.
It is a gift. Is that something you teach when?
Oh, girl, I do, honey. We need all the powerful women, brothers and sisters out here all across the world, because somewhere along the line, in our upbringing, in our family systems, way before we were born, cultural norms, cultural standards of behavior, of belief, religion, you name it. Somebody code in our system, in our mind, in our inner world that here's where you gotta fit yourself into this box. It does not matter if you're a size 16. Come on in this size 4 box because that's what we want you to fit in. So my teaching that I help my clients is to really come home with peace with who you are. Accept where you are, accept your desires. If you're a freaky deek, be a freaky deek. It don't matter, baby. You set the rules for your life. And once you receive your truth, you're no longer in a prison. You build that dignity, that deep self-worth and trust, that deep self-worth and trust to just be who you are meant to be. You know, we grapple a lot with pleasing people. We grapple a lot with the opinions of what people say and what my mother say, what my father say, and they'll be upset. But nobody in my family has ever done this. How dare I have the gall to be an entrepreneur and want to live a couture, luxurious life? Hells to the yes. Somebody got to hold a machete, honey. You, Tracy, Verna, Chrissy, Jackie, Kai, whoever, Valencia, Abby, sometimes you have, if you so desire to, have to hold the machete and pave that way for the next generation, for the next somebody who's just looking for a little light, a little lighthouse light. Show me how I could possibly be. And that's what I'm doing, honey. I got my machete. my book is my machete, baby.
Awesome. Awesome. And by the way, the book is called Inner Child Healing by Wen Peetes. Look at that. You know, so this is just for the enlightenment of our guests. In case you didn't hear or don't recall the name of the book, it's Inner Child Healing by Wen Peetes. At what point, just to piggyback on what you just mentioned, at what point in your journey, not age per se, but in terms of your experience, in your life experience, what particular age or again time you would say this was revealed to you? When did you have this revelation that, hey, I have to grow some balls here, I need some courage? Right?
It wasn't even one point in time. I think all of us, we don't see the permission, the consent we give ourselves to do the thing that we most desire to do. We don't see it necessarily at the end game. It's revealed to us, but we are each of us building little layers, let's call them steps. We figure out where the concrete is, we figure out where the sand is. We slowly get to the point where we want to. So it wasn't like, oh, it's Friday, it's the 24th of January, I'm going to reveal this. It was not like that. Nothing, at least life doesn't always work that way. It was just a lead up. And when your drain is clogged, honey, something is going to manifest, whether it's physically, which was for me, different things physically, whether it's insomnia, whether it's anxiety, crippling your body, whether it's panic attacks, whatever you're feeling and you are denying or avoiding about yourself, it shows up eventually. And when we realize that, when you journey through pain and you allow yourself to feel it, you gotta sometimes go to burn your whole house down, figuratively, and move through that pain. You realize, my ability to feel and process and heal pain allows me to access a certain freedom. So for me, it was manifested in different ways. And after a while, I said, I can't keep this up. I'm running on a hamster wheel. It's not living. That's not living. That's not living. I want more. I deserve more. I expect more. And that's what shifted for me, Corinne. It wasn't like one thing, one event.
Multiple experiences. What about pushback? What in your daring spirit did you face? Obviously obstacles, pushbacks. How did that look for you? Or how does it look? Because I can imagine it's an ongoing challenge that you face.
Oh, it's curious you should ask this. I remember at one point, a family member reached out and said, when this person is saying you're saying this and that on Facebook, and you're sharing all this stuff, stop talking about your journey to empowerment. And I said, oh, isn't that something? You are asking me, you are telling me to go back in the shackles of bondage by reverting to the negative life and experiences that I've had and I've lived whomever, if you have had experiences with trauma, it does not have to be childhood trauma. It could be anything that hurts your soul, honey. Your boss is an a-hole, it hurts your soul. So it doesn't have to be childhood trauma. I said to that person, I respect what you just said, but you have no authority on my life. I am the authority of my life. And it makes you uncomfortable. I acknowledge that. But here's what you do. You direct whomever is directing this energy to you. Send it over here, honey. Send it over here, because pain and shame and fear encourages us to protect ourselves, in quotation, protect ourselves. It's all a protection mechanism. Don't bring your story over here. Even though we're family members, it affects me and I don't want to deal with it. Here's the thing. When you come to see yourself, when you look in the mirror and you receive all yourself, opinions that other people have, you realize it's just their inability to face their reality, which may be all fear related, all programming and conditioning from societal norms that they're used to. Has nothing to do with me necessarily. So in terms of people and pushing back, I listened to it all. I said, yeah, I receive it, but it's not mine to own. That's their work. Because I understand this is who I am. I expect other people will push back, and that's okay. That's not my job to hold their machete, honey. No, they got to work out that stuff. Does that make sense?
I would think, yeah.
But this, again, I don't want to trivialize this. This takes balls. Right, Carmen? This takes proper work. At least, courage. My clients, they'll tell you, this ain't no, let me do this every other Thursday after Desperate Housewives or whatever the television show. This is everyday commitment to yourself to do the inner work. The inner work is the toughest stuff I've ever done. Listen, I've been to grad school, I've done all these things, had different relationships, but this work of really investing in self-love, lifelong devotion of unconditional loving to yourself, baby, this is proper work, everyday work. And that's what I do. I do it. I almost like, Corinne, you are a trainer, you run, you do all these athletic stuff. This is my equivalent. No, my day starts out every day. Boom, inner work. In the bed, inner work. Oh, lunch, I'm sitting in the toilet, inner work. Eating, inner work. It's just how I move through life now, because I see a lot of us value the external, the physical reality that shows up in our lives. We don't see that in here, what we think, feel, and believe creates our physical world. What you think, feel, and believe creates the expectations of what you think is going to be available to you. So listen, if you think, I want to hot toddy somebody from Denmark or whatever, but on the inside, you feel, I don't look good enough. I got to lose 10 pounds. He's not going to like me. What do you think will happen? You're not going to get that hot toddy, baby. So that's what I'm saying, is that inner work in here. The invisible stuff is so important, but we are not taught to invest in it. Once you divest from the external, my car is not pretty enough. They say I should honor my parents. My parents is always right, even if they're wrong. I say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, when you know they're hurting you. Once you divest from that and you look in here and you do that work, boom. You don't care about what people say, because that's not your work.
I understand that. Quick question. At what point did you figure out the title of the book? Did it come that, because I know you sat down and wrote it in 3 weeks. At what point did you decide inner child healing was most appropriate?
This may sound wackadoodle-doo, but there was no figuring out, Corinne. This just dropped inside my spirit. I've always been very intuitive, so I don't say this lightly at all. Since I was a child, I get visions, I get feeling, I just move with the knowing that I know that I know that I know. And I don't have to read any book. I don't have to ask my mother, my aunts, none of them are here, but one of them may be here. But I remember one of my aunt Rita, she said to me, when you were a kid, you were very defiant. You already knew what you knew. So you can tell me, honey, this is a green book, and according to me, it's purple and yellow. It's purple and yellow. You can't change my mind. And so I already knew. So once I had that sense of knowing without having to ask anybody to help me figure it out, or let me get somebody's opinion. I just said, oh, Charlene, boom. There were streams. I said to Carmen, she's here, when I was writing the book, I literally sat down at the computer. There's no thought here. It's just a dump of subconscious, unconscious words. That's not me. That's me uncovering my divine design. And we, each of us have that. There's something inside of us that we were born with, came into this world before our mothers pushed us out a womb, or if we had a C-section, before we were born with, that says, hey, this is what's available to you. And it's up to us to help ourselves uncover it. By how? Being intimate with ourselves. So Corinne, thank you for all you said, but honey, I didn't do that much work with this book writing. The Spirit gave, I just helped myself uncover it. I just helped myself uncover it.
Well, I see somebody's asking a quick question about having that title. So while they wanted to know if you got an idea of the title while you're writing it after. So you basically answered
Before,
that.
I think it was before. It's almost like how I felt when I knew. Thank you for asking, Vicky. When I knew I would write this book, I said, okay, I got the message. I can't remember what time of day was, probably in the morning, when it's time to write the book. Okay, good. So this day, and then somewhere along the line, the title came to me. Okay, once I had the title, I said, okay, good. Let me put in some vacation time from my corporate job because this is something that I need to get out to the world and not keep delaying, not keep delaying, but it was time. So let me do all that I can to bring this out. And that's what I did. So it wasn't during, really, it was before. But again, each of us have different energetic capacity or get different impulses and aha. So whenever they come for us, I'm the type of person, Vicky, because of my background and have always been intuitive. I trust it. Ain't no conference here, baby. I trust it that the messenger, the source, divine, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you're calling it, for you, personified, I was personified for you. This is the name. Well, let's go. No excuses, no delays. Let's go.
Awesome sauce. Well, I hope you've already informed your guests that we are sprinkling them with some prizes and surprises. I think that there were several winners before who were announced in January. Heather M, Sharon H, Olivia T, Chrissy B, Shola B, Vicky P, Tanika, Carmen, Rose, Gina, and Molly M. Right? Molly M is supposed to be in Australia. I haven't seen her on here though.
I think she had the times misconverted. But we love you, Molly, if you're here. Woo! See, Elise has her book too. Elise.
Awesome. And somebody's going to be a lucky winner of a book today. But one of the three prizes we want to sprinkle on our guests is an Inner Sunshine interactive book donated by Blocker Berman. Heather B is sharing a piece of who she is and what she does with our beautiful guest. So somebody is going to walk away with an Inner Sunshine interactive book by Blocker Berman, Heather B.
All right. She's actually here. She's smiling. Look at her face.
She's smiling. She's smiling.
She's waving. Entrepreneur. She's very shy about her skills, honey. We ain't shy no more, baby. We ain't shy no more.
The shyness.
I'm dropping the book in the chat, guys. If you want to take a look at it.
Yeah, if anybody wants to ask a question at this point, we welcome a question from our guests. But I also wanted to get a piece of your thoughts, because when you do a wonderful job speaking about your journey and it's your story. And I'm curious about others who may have had some degree of trauma. We've all experienced setbacks in life in various ways, but trauma is something many of us have encountered and don't necessarily feel to speak on it freely. So for me, it's how do you inspire? How do you encourage? What's, because for you have it right when you know what you feel you have to do. Your spirit, you know, your journey has been one where experience has gotten you to the point where you know what you feel and you know what you want to do. Somebody's conflicted, similar trauma. What's the advice you offer? What do you share to get them out of that conflicted zone that they might be in?
Great question. Thank you for asking this question. Listen, if you have an impulse, a nudge, a whisper that's telling you, that's introducing you to an unexpressed desire to live differently than the way you live, whatever that is. 2, feel good about yourself as often as you can. But your reality does not match that. That truth is living inside of you. So just allowing yourself to let those things bubble up, that intuitive whisper that come, we each get that message. We each get a certain feeling. Because listen, we're human. Life happens to all of us, whether you're dealing with big grief, family loss, or pet loss, or a catastrophe, hurricane, whatever. There's something about our lives that say something could be better here. Just telling yourself that truth, number one, and witnessing yourself, that's a powerful first step. Next, what else is coming through when you keep asking yourself this simple question? What would it feel like if I could taste the other side of this feeling? Ask yourself that. Imagine, walk yourself through your first hour of liberation. What would it feel like if I can touch, taste, lick it, kiss it, hold it, cuddle with it, swim in this thing that I would like to experience? And your desire, which is your divine fuel, I ain't talking about no desire to do wicked things and hurt people, but our spirit tells us how we were meant to be, and we were meant to feel, be the epitome of love, of grace, of peace. And if you're not feeling that in many hours of your day, then ask yourself that question. What would it feel like? And let yourself go there. All the things that come up for you, let yourself go there. And then you ask yourself, how am I feeling today? Am I close to that feeling that I'm imagining, that dream? Or am I feeling such great distance that it seems impossible? Next, how can I get myself there? Do I want to take responsibility? Because you got to take responsibility for getting you to the other side of that feeling that you don't want to feel. And a lot of us, believe it or not, we want what we want, but the actual conditioning in our mind to say, oh, it's going to take too long. Oh, you can't do it. Nobody else in your family do it. We talk ourselves out of our dreams. And some of us, let's tell the damn truth. Some of us lazy. I know I was. I was like, oh no, I can't deal with this here. I got to go watch Bond or whatever action show because that makes me feel better. And where's that Haagen-Dazs, baby? Let me get in that Haagen-Dazs. We're denying ourselves the freedom of being exactly who you are. My loves, I cannot express this. There's no vocabulary for me to express to you how it feels when you just walk in your truth. Liberation. It's such a beautiful, freeing, oh my God, magnetic, majestic thing that it's hard to describe. The closest thing I have is the feeling of falling in love with whomever that you love unconditionally. It's that kind of feeling, but it's a discovery that you have never felt before, or you've never met yourself in this way before. It's pure bliss, pure bliss.
And you know what, When you talk a lot about your musical journey. So I think music is relevant to your tapping Wen's, your whole vibe, your whole thinking about healing. How does music inform your journey to writing this book?
Ooh, music, oh, my first love. Music is how I breathe. Before even, to me, it's my first language. It's my first form of expression. Again, the divine. This is not Wen doing all that stuff. The divine said, there's something about this somebody named Wen. She's going to be able to do this, write music, play piano, half decent. She's going to be able to do all this stuff because that's a gift, sacred gifts that help me meet each and every one of you. Tyler, Michelle, so Shamira. It helps me heal and move forward and express myself in multiple ways to share the possibilities of hope. And music was the key for my healing, because how can me, Wen, keep beating up herself, feeling so shameful and hateful about the mirror that reflected the face of her father, the marks on her legs that reflected the lashes from her mother. How can I hate myself and still be able to write music? So that's what I say. Inside the shame, the pain, the guilt, there are sacred messengers. And for me, my messenger was, oh, I'm going to show you that all parts of you are worthy. There's dignity, there's love. And music helped me see that I was and could be something other than shame. It helped me to express and to pour out, let's call it to cry out the emotions that were keeping me bottled up and I couldn't express it in any words. Because if somebody's hurting you, you don't go on the side and say, hey, mom, you're hurting me. Hey, dad, you're hurting me. No. So for me, with me and God or Allah, Buddha, the ocean, I could sing and I could write it out. So I was getting out the hurt. I was getting out the hurt. So that's what music does to me. And the songs and the music, they come to me. It's not when doing some big, let me go sit down and write a song. That's the divine. And I'm just uncovering it. So music gave me a taste of freedom, and made me feel, oh, that's what love could feel like. Because I'm opening up a space inside of me that I thought never existed. And I'm so grateful for it. So grateful for it.
Total excitement hearing you talk about how your journey affected so many aspects of your life. Um, Friends who are here with us, don't forget that there are 3 winners. Heather's gift donation that we talked about earlier, it's actually a keepsake, that's a pet keepsake book. Heather has over 12 books available, including her fan favorite pet keepsake books, all available on Amazon.
Ooh,
Heather?
I'm seeing 2 questions too. I just want to drop that in. Some people are sending me direct messages. So Corinne, we just want to make sure we answer those questions, okay?
Yes.
So I have a question from Elise.
Elise? Yes.
Besides the writing, oh, you see it. Good, good.
Yeah, besides the writing, what was the hardest, almost surprising part of the publishing?
Great question. The hardest part of the publishing. Nothing, I'm being, Elise, girl, I'm sorry. This may be like, she lying. But nothing was really hard. I have to be honest with you. When you're walking in the truth and you know this is what you have to do, you see it as, oh my gosh, such a joy. Yeah, there are going to be days where you're juggling things, but you put it into perspective and you say, I get to do this? Oh, this is what you do. Listen, I don't want no average life, honey. Let's talk about that. The kind of life I'm working towards is a joyful life. So with that joy comes work. So there was no real hard part. I would say coordinating maybe the distribution side of things with Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, that part, because I'm self-publishing with my own company, baby. I'm all about sovereignty. Thanks to Carmen. I see all these examples. Vanessa's here. All these entrepreneurs, badass women, men's on them. Mikey, I see you. We do this thing, so we take the responsibility of taking ourselves over the joy bridge, baby. So wearing all the hats, and maybe this is hard, but it really truly wasn't hard. If you're an artist, if you're creative in some way, I just wanted to go back and write that second book. I wanted to go to the studio in Connecticut by my friend and write these songs. I'm like, when? Slow down, baby. Slow down, baby. Let's finish the book. There we go. Do the music. Let me go. So it's that kind of thing. It wasn't necessarily hard. It's just being really focused and putting my energy where it's most efficient. Not getting distracted when I'm feeling a little bit lazy. Focus, commit. That's what you do. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, and there was a question right after from Vicky, I think it was. She was.
Yes.
You see that question that Vicky's asking?
Vicky is asking, I'd love to know if there were any truths, thoughts, feelings, lessons learned, etc., that came to during and after the book. What journey did it take you on? The truths, feelings came up was, brilliant question. The truth and the feeling was, okay, now you're standing naked in the middle of the whole highway of the world. Did you release this book? Coming back to Corinne's original question or mention, you reaffirm that this is the life you want to live. Reaffirm to yourself. Are you going to keep walking in this truth with your badass naked self? And knowing that your ego will come up and say, oh, I gotta not share on Instagram. I gotta not share. I gotta deal with my parents. I have to deal with. Or will you realize that it's bigger than you? And so you keep moving forward, knowing that this message has to get out there. You're walking with the machete. It's difficult to do because it's so easy for us to regress and revert to the things that we were conditioned to. And the journey of healing never changes. So those thoughts come up. And the lessons that instantly click now for me is thought of being negative thought, owning emotions that people throw your way, clean it up right away. That's not you. This is your reality. This is your reality that when we all have different realities. Let's talk about that, by the way. Somebody may say it's unrealistic, it's not kind, it's waste of time. That's their pain they're talking about. So when people come at you guys here on this thing here and you get this negative feedback or whatever, that's their stuff. Okay. I'm gonna keep wearing my badass panties, maybe. And I'm gonna keep walking through knowing that this is necessary work. This work is bigger than me. This has nothing to do with me feeling uncomfortable to a point where I feel so scared I don't want to share. People waiting for this truth so they could see themselves. And I'm waiting for their reflection back. I'm waiting to hear their truth. So that helps me keep moving forward. So the biggest lesson, there is no sweeter feeling than walking in this life as your powerful truth, as your powerful self. There's no more delicious feeling than knowing that the life you're living was created by you on your terms, based on the freedom that you need for yourself. And once you move with that energy, all the noise is just noise, honey. Just noise.
Amazing. This is a good time to remind everybody who's joining us today that Inner Child Healing is available globally in audiobook, hard copy, and ebook formats at Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and all retailers. You can also learn more about it, about Wen, at rebelforaspell.com. All right. I see Sarai Daniels asking an interesting question, asking you to give examples of ways you practice self-work on a daily basis.
Ooh, girl.
You want to share some of that, Wen?
Sure. This is a great question. Thank you, Saray, for asking, delicious darling. Whenever I'm asked a question like this, I hesitate slightly because we are all so unique. We're all unique. We lived unique experiences personal to us and how we move through life. So I try not to give you people my specific step by step because it may not resonate for you. So the first thing I would say to you, Soraya, anybody's listening, when you get to know who you are and who you are in terms of the peak hours of the day that you're more receptive to doing the inner work, even if it's 5 minutes. I'm more of a morning person. So I know if I start my day off with whatever practice I do, it gets me in that energy mode. I'm not going to get distracted by the phone, going on Instagram, going all this busy stuff. So for me, I start the day off right, meaning on the bed, I just give thanks right there. It gets me in connection with me, puts me in contact with me. Because you just came from a dream state, maybe as you're dreaming in the night, or thoughts rambling in your mind, or you have your to-do list running through your head. I just say, wait a minute, hold up, baby. Good morning, you. What's going on in there? And so you see and you witness yourself. You're like, what are these things coming up? What am I feeling? Okay. Do I put this on the back burner after coffee? Do I deal with it tonight and let it compound? Or do I address it now? Maybe, so right, maybe some people, they like to stretch to get connected with their bodies while in the bed, different things like that. Or they journal to express, to record what's coming up for them. And to almost record, meaning audio journal in your phone or paper journal, you record that, what you're feeling, so that you witness it and you don't deny it. And you see where you are in that day and where you want to go. I think the tendency for many people is to harbor the negative stuff that comes through. Oh man, yesterday was this, last night was that. She said, he said. But you can actually sit in your bed every morning and say, what do I want to feel? What do I want to feel today? That's beautiful. That puts me in closer contact with love, honey. Once you start your day with that kind of question, you give yourself permission to create that day in a way, to pay attention. So when the negative stuff come up, you just shift it. And when you need help, you reach out to a loving soul that you have, or a coach like me, or a therapist, whomever you prefer. But don't deny what you're feeling. And if you start the day knowing that, you got to check in with you at whatever time of the day works for you. And you remember that, that's what really is going to help you every day in the self-work. Because a lot of people, what they do is, let me wait till in the night when I meditate, if that's what they do. Let me wait till I work out in the afternoon. But you've got to realize there are many minutes and many hours and many seconds during that time where you're experiencing challenges, whatever that may be, or joy. So I check in with myself. It's going to sound a lot, honey, but I check in with myself a minimum 2.5 hours a day. Not all at once, one sitting, but it's so delicious to uncover and clear out the gunk, honey. If you got diarrhea, you know how diarrhea feel. You don't want to be walking around with diarrhea, baby. Don't wait till the end of the day to get unclogged. No, you just check in 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and you realize, you know what? This is loving. This is not work. I get to do this, loving. I hope that helps you, Sarai. I'm never going to give you something prescriptive, because we have to honor our sovereign right to be who we are. And some people may find dancing is, relieving for them and all. Some people may find praying. So whatever works for you, do it, baby. But not at one time a week, one time a day.
You know what's so funny? It's good that you say that, because on page 154, there is, well, one of my takeaways from reading your book is habits that help my healing journey. You say, pour out the pain, journal, cry, laugh, jump, go for a fast-paced walk, exercise, dance, sing, find a safe way to pour out the hurt. These are your habits, Wen. This is what you document. This is what you share with the world. So it seems like it has to be a fit. Find that fit that works for you, whatever that looks like.
Yes, and please know it's going to evolve, honey. Don't put yourself in a box, put a tape on it, and mail it down the post office. Hells to the no. Because as you grow and you become to know who you are and what you like, what you desire, you may realize, oh, I don't need that anymore. I got this other level up. I'm using this other thing. And I want more. I want to expand my world in this way and meet these types of people now and get rid of all that garbage I used to do in the past. It evolves, as you get to know yourself and you get exposed to people who are reflecting where you want to go. You see? So whatever works for you, because if something doesn't feel delicious, you ain't going to do it, honey. Listen, half the things I see Corinthia do on Instagram, jumping on a box 6 feet high, hells to the no. I'm not doing that. I have a bad hip and a bad knee, but I'm going to walk some more. I'm going to dance in the shower. Carmen, you know about that. I dance in the shower. Whatever works for you, it's good to do, and manage your self-work, self-designed work like that. I hope that helps.
That does help. That does help. I want to just let everybody know that we have 2 winners so far and 1 more to go. Inner Sunshine Interactive book, we are going to sprinkle on Jackie Knight. There's a Jackie Knight who's on our platform. She is one of the winners. The other one gets a 30-minute free career consultation donated by me, curator of Platform and Possibilities. The winner is Yvette McMahon.
Yvette McMahon. I'm not sure she's here.
Not sure she's on there.
Congrats, Yvette. Woo-hoo! Oh, I see. Hello, Valencia. I'm unmuting you. Let's see.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jackie Knight. Trying to unmute you guys. Congratulations. Hey. They're shy. You can't be shy in this party. Thank you.
Maybe it's a good time to bring out some of the bubbly. Maybe we need to bring out some of the bubbly?
Yeah, we need to bring out some of the bubbly. We're going to have a toast. Listen, I have water and cherries. Sorry, guys. I'm easing off the alcohol.
The celebration, the party.
All right, I'm going to do this toast. I just got to do it. Thank you to every single one of you. Vanessa, I see you have a question. We're going to get to it really soon because we're going to jump off here soon, give you guys your time back. Thank you to every single one of you who are here, physically here in the party, in the get down, giving us your time. We know football is on, honey. Somebody's watching football. But thank you for being here. Thank you for opening up your soul and letting us in a little bit. Whether you don't see all the things you do to invite us to open up ourselves and imagine our possibilities, we feel it. We check you out on Instagram. We check out what you say, the thoughtful things. Vicky does this a lot. Um, Whoever we come across here, because some of you are here on Facebook. We catch you on Facebook, Instagram, and our individual email lists. Thank you for all that you do to move yourself forward, because that energy, we feel it too, and it invites us to move forward in our healing. This book is a celebration of all of us. The folks that are not here, we are celebrating you too, because just if you have that thought of healing and realizing that's something you need, you're stepping into, a whole new ecosystem of power, a whole new land that ain't nobody else create but you. And that is so, people don't realize how powerful that first step is. If you just say, what do I feel like today? What do I want to experience today? How can I touch it, lick it, taste it, and let me go after it? It can be yours. So I'm celebrating with all of you. So thank you, Corinthia. You know you're doing it, girl. Thank you, Corinthia. Thank you to Carmen, my editor, and Elise, the first two folks that believed that this book was something. Let me put Carmen up in here. Carmen, you know you're not shy, neither are you, Elise. Ask to unmute. Thank you so much. Carmen and Elise are here. They're my editor and the first podcast I ever did. Thank you so much for all your gifts and
We're
talents.
so happy to be here with you. We've been just cheering you on this whole time, and you have always given us just as much energy as we hope we've been giving back.
Oh,
I'm so excited for your next book.
yeah, no, me too. I'm almost there, Carmen. Carmen is my editor for life, I think. So thank you so much. And then for Heather for donations of your gifts and talents, and Corinthia for the career coaching. Thank you, guys. Please, whatever you do in this life, keep celebrating everything that you do. And don't I invite you to not shut down those little nuggets and treasures that you have to offer the world. To you, it may seem inconsequential or just a little. Nobody cares about this. No, honey. People lining up for that. Just remember that somebody else out there is longing for your gifts. So that's why I want to share. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. We do so many things quietly. On the DL, this ain't no DL year, honey. Sharon is here. She's doing so much stuff with women who's been abused. This ain't no DL year, honey. Let the world know that you've been here before. You're gonna be here forever. And whoever can't handle your power, that's not your business, right, Abby? You're the baking stuff. I'm giving everybody a shout out here. You're not responsible for somebody's uncomfortability with their own power. You got your machete, right? What we do with machete? Let me see if anybody from the islands here. We just clear the way, clear the way, clear the way. Clear the way, Heather. You just clear the path, baby. Clear the path, because please know, a little girl, a little boy in the back of you, they're looking on, right? They're looking on. So
Right.
thank you so much, everyone. We're going to wrap up soon. But Vanessa has a question. What did Vanessa say? From Deidre Daniels. Wait, let's go to Vanessa first. Vanessa says, are you still seeing a therapist? If so, do you think therapy is essential for everyday life? I'll speak only to me, Vanessa. Great question. Thank you for asking. I'm not seeing a therapist. I haven't seen a therapist. Listen, I got rid of my therapist. Let's just talk the damn truth. For me, the thing that we all have to remember, if you're feeling something and experience as you meet a therapist, as you interview a therapist, respect and honor and listen to that. Because somebody wears a badge that says Doctor, PhD, or MD, that doesn't mean that that person truly connects with what you're dealing with, or understands it, or genuinely care, or will handle you with the tenderness that you require. You understand? And they may, as I experienced, want to give you all these bunch of pills. That's what my last therapist, go take this, go take this. I said, no, I don't want to take this. Why are you being lazy? I asked her. I said, why are you being lazy? Isn't there another way? So that therapy was good in a sense where I met some very decent folks, but I realized maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's the knowing inside of me that said, when there's something inside of you, you can heal this. You can heal this in the way that works for the way you operate. Therapy works for many of my clients. Some of my clients, Vanessa, they seek therapy and they are in therapy and they also work with me because I offer something maybe a little bit more dynamic or different or than the therapist. So if you know, or whomever is listening on the back end, that therapy is working for you and you have a good therapist and you feel cared for, keep on doing that. And if you want to mix it up and see if you want to hear about coaching or different ways of doing things that are not so formulaic, it's up to you. We all decide what type of level of treatment we need. And don't get me wrong, if you're suffering some severe mental issues and so forth, and if anybody comes to me that I believe that I cannot assist or help, I'm going to tell them the truth right away. That's very important, that we feel we are in integrity with the work that we do. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. I think getting someone to hear you, care for you, really care for you, and support you in your healing, whatever the healing you need, divorce, grief, childhood trauma, a bully boss, whatever you need, it's important to have someone that actually supports you and they give you the tools that you can master within yourself, because it's your responsibility, my responsibility to do the work. Nobody can heal you. That's your work. That's my work. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Hopefully that answered your question. I think Deidre was asking though, who inspires you? Who's that one person you?
Oh,
There may be many, but who would you say is big in terms of your inspiration?
why am I getting all the Klimt? 1 second. Let me catch my breath. Throughout my whole journey of writing this book of healing, there was always one person present physically or on a phone, or just me knowing this person was available. Oh, it was like having a little guardian angel wrapped in a teddy bear, wrapped in a little doggy, wrapped in a blanket. Her name, Kester, my cousin. She inspired me. We grew up more like sisters back in St. Kitts. We grew up more like Kester. Deidre, that's her name. She's here. She's shy. I'm calling you out, baby. Something about just knowing, and I'm getting a little teared up. Ain't no tears in this makeup. This took 4 years to put on. Deidre, just knowing that there was somebody who actually believes me, somebody who could just sit and not even say a word, but I know they cared. Coming back to your question, Vanessa, if you got somebody who really, really loves and cares for you and just wants to see you fly, no strings attached, no conditions, that's beautiful. And she inspired me because our lives were very different. Our upbringings, according to me, was very different. She was my example of what having a childhood, a free-flowing, loving childhood would look like, having a safe environment to be in, and just knowing that I had that somebody. Oh, especially for a child, when your authority figures are other than what they should be, you just feel so uninvisible. So for me, it was Deidre. Deidre Kester, wherever you're going with these days, baby. I loves you.
That's deep. It's always important to have a support system, a tribe. Kudos to you, Kester, Deidre. It's been a
And
while.
also my other cousins too. Heather is here, but I think those two really, because I remember I talk about it in the book. Heather, he hasn't read the book yet, but I talk about Heather was physically with me when I shared my story with my mother, and she has been a rock, absolute rock, but in the most chilled way. She doesn't come at you and ask you all these 20,000 questions. She's just in the background.
Right.
Same with Heather as well, and she's always been a trooper, and so many other people that came and share, and also just being supportive, just knowing that somebody else believed me. Just sometimes that's all we need. Somebody else hears me, somebody else sees me, somebody else believes me. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, this is a good time when to share with your guests one fun, fancy fact about yourself. One fun fact
Really?
that you probably don't even know. Something fun,
Um,
something when you know a lot about you, but one
Fun
fun.
fact, I have to really think of, oh, I'm learning German and it's not going well.
Oh
I
boy.
mean, that's it. He's
See,
away in the other room. So my honey's German, but oh my gosh, just to pronounce, do I have any? I can't even pronounce one word. Honey, I don't have any German words. I'm learning. Fun fact, it's not working out.
But
I
at
can't
least
even think. It's such a hard language because I study French and a little bit and Spanish. So I can't even get one word out. But hopefully I'll improve. Maybe I'll have 5 words by the end of the year.
awesome.
Honey, give me a German word. Oh, he says no. Oh, what are you gonna do? This man is German. You can't make him do nothing he ain't want to do. So that's a fun fact. Is that fun, guys? Is that good enough? Right, Vicky? No, it's universal. I try, but it feels like I'm. Oh, see, I can't even pronounce that word. Let me hear what Elise says. Elise, how do you pronounce that word?
Scheisse. It means
Scheisse?
Scheisse. It means shit. I think I took one semester of German and it wasn't even taught, but that's what I learned. And
Give me a word, honey. Scheisse. You heard him? He said not to use. Don't use that, honey.
Learn this
Well,
world.
well, at least I have a new one because he didn't teach me that. Scheisse. I'm gonna use it.
Well, listen,
Banana.
He gave me this. He says banana.
Banana.
Banan. Ah, there you go. Banan. I learned a new word.
right?
Scheisse.
Well, listen, we have a winner. We're almost at the say goodbye mark. We have a winner of your book, Inner Child Healing, Natasha Welch.
Natasha! Woo! I don't even see her here. Maybe she left, but congrats, Natasha.
Autograph copy, right, of your book.
Of course.
Congratulations to Natasha Welch on winning.
Oh, Natasha is here. She says, "Ooh, abundant love." Congrats, Natasha. Woo! I'm gonna send everybody an email, Heather. We all gonna send you an email so you can collect your prizes of all the people that have won. Some people that have won and have not collected their prizes yet. Come on, get your prize. What you waiting for?
Awesome. So Wen, I think we really can comfortably say that we've had a good showing of support today, or good show of support. Everybody's come out to get a piece of your story and support you as you move to your next what next? Because whatever your what next looks like, if it's anything like all the excitement that surrounds this book, I'm sure that's something really, remarkable for you to look forward to as well. So congratulations again, Wen. Thanks for having us here. Thanks for your energy. Thanks for your wisdom. You've empowered, enriched, and inspired us. And we're really looking forward to what Wen has to offer to the world next. Thank you so much, Wen.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please know it's a celebration of all of us, all of us. And to your point, Corinthia, the thing that I just look forward to every day, guys, and I'm a clown, I'm joking about and all that stuff. It's just waking up and knowing that, inside here, I already have all that I need. That's it. That's the biggest thing for me. Yeah, of course, I got my snuggle bunny here. Don't let's get that twisted. But inside of me, I'm good. I feel really settled. I'm so grateful every day, grateful. And that's why I come back and I do the work. Grateful, because I never want to let loose of this feeling. So thank you. I hope everyone can experience that. Everyone can get to a place in their lives where they give themselves permission to be their badass self.